Welcome to Growing Tall Poppies, Thrive After Trauma. I'm your host, Dr Nat Green, and I am so excited to have you join me as we discuss what it means to navigate your way through trauma or significant challenges and not just survive, but to thrive after it. This is a space for people who've been through trauma or adversity, have done some healing, and know they're meant for more than just coping. This podcast is about post-traumatic growth, not getting back to who you used to be. Rather, understanding who you are now and learning how to stand tall without shrinking, forcing, or abandoning yourself. Here, we explore identity after adversity, integrity and visibility wounds, nervous system wisdom, and what it really takes to move forward in a way that feels aligned, embodied, and true. You will hear a blend of deep solo conversations and powerful guest interviews with people who have lived this work, not just studied it. Because growth doesn't come from pushing harder, it comes from understanding how you adapted, honouring your nervous system, and gently updating the old agreements that no longer fit the life you're ready to live. If you're ready to stop hiding, stop performing, and start owning who you are becoming, then you are in the right place. Let's grow tall together. Welcome back to Growing Tall Poppies and to the very first conversations with Dr Nat. I'm really glad you're here. And I just wanted to spend some time today having a conversation with you. Can I ask you something? When was the last time that somebody actually asked you how you were and you answered honestly? No, I'm fine. Well, I'm good, busy, flat out, getting there. I mean, really honestly, thinking about the conversations that I've been having over the past few weeks, and they've all seemed to circle around the same thing. So much so that I've actually found myself wondering whether you might need to hear this too. Not because you're falling apart. In fact, quite the opposite. From the outside, your life probably looks like you've got all your crap together. People admire you, they trust you, and most importantly, they rely on you. You're highly capable, competent, reliable. You make things happen. Really feels like inside your head. And I tell you what I imagine your day sounded like today before your feet even touch the floor. Your brain has already started. Don't forget to reply to that email. I need to ring Mum. Did I organise that appointment? I really should exercise today. Forgot to message her back. Then the day begins. You're answering messages while making breakfast. You're thinking about work while driving. You're mentally planning dinner while you're in your first meeting. And someone asks, do you have 5 minutes? Of course you do. Someone needs help. Of course you'll help. Someone forgets something. You'll remember it because that's who you've become. The one everyone relies on. And maybe without even noticing, you've become so good at carrying everyone else's life. Simply stop noticing how heavy your own has become. Maybe you've reheated your coffee twice, relate, and still never finished it. Maybe you finally sat down. In 30 seconds, somebody else needed something. Maybe you walked into a room and you couldn't even remember why. I know that one really well. Not because you're losing your mind, but probably because your mind has been carrying 20 tabs open all day already. Maybe you drove home in silence, not because you like silence, but because your brain couldn't cope with one more thing. Maybe you sat in the car for another 2 minutes before going inside because it was the only quiet moment you had all day. Maybe someone asked how you were, and without even thinking you smiled, I'm fine, because saying anything else somehow feels too much. Or maybe you don't even know how you'd answer that anymore. Wonder if that feels familiar. One of the things that has really stayed with me over all these years is that the strongest women often ask themselves the cruelest questions. Not, am I carrying too much, but why can't I cope better? Not, maybe I've been giving too much, but what's wrong with me? But don't think the problem is that you're not coping. I think it's actually that you've been coping for far too long, and maybe you've forgotten what you feel like. Here's what nobody talks about. It's lonely. I've noticed women sitting at the kitchen table after everyone has gone to bed, completely spent, completely exhausted, start scrolling on their phone, not because they even want to, but because they're trying to reclaim just 10 minutes that belongs to them. Because when you're the strong one, people stop checking if you're okay. They assume you'll manage. They assume you'll work it out. They assume that you'll ask if you need help. Except you never do you? Because you've become so used to being the helper that you've forgotten what it even feels like to be helped. Can I share something really personal? As I was thinking about this episode, I found myself thinking about one particular moment in my own life that really stands out. Many years ago, after what was meant to be a routine ankle operation, when everything went terribly, terribly wrong, I developed a golden staph infection. I became septic, raging temperatures, body shutting down, and there was a point where I didn't even realize it, but where the doctors genuinely weren't sure I was going to survive. I was in hospital, attached to IV antibiotics, multiple types of antibiotics, because no one knew what was going on. And my body was fighting for its life. You know what I was doing? I had my laptop open in my hospital bed. I was doing the staff payroll, replying to emails, making sure that my clients were looked after, trying to keep my practice running. Crazy, hey? Because in my mind, there wasn't another option. I genuinely believe that no one else can do this. People are relying on me. I can't let everyone down. I'm honest. At the time, I actually felt really proud of that. I thought it meant I was dedicated, strong, committed. Seriously. When I look back now, I see something very different. I see a woman who had become so used to carrying everything, she no longer knew how to put anything down. Even lying in a hospital bed, with her own life hanging in the balance, she couldn't give herself permission to stop. Looking back now, I don't see strength. I see survival. Sometimes we celebrate what actually needs our compassion. We praise ourselves for pushing through, for never dropping that ball, for always being dependable. What cost? And if I'm honest, wasn't the only time. I've repeated that pattern more than once, several times, more than once, really. And I'm sharing this with you because I absolutely know how easy it is to mistake survival for strength. There's so many periods where I kept saying, once I get through this, then I'll slow down. And maybe you've said that too. After this launch, after this holiday, after this project, after the kids get this done, after Christmas. Except life never really settled down. There was always another client, another responsibility, another opportunity, another person who needed something. And one day I realized something that stopped me in my tracks. I wasn't waiting for life to slow down. I'd forgotten that I was allowed to stop. Somewhere along the way, I'd become so identified with being capable that I didn't know who I was without constantly carrying something. And if I'm really honest, putting something down didn't feel peaceful. It felt really uncomfortable, almost irresponsible. And I often ask myself now, if my best friend had been lying in that hospital bed, would I have expected her to be doing payroll? Of course not. So why did I expect it of myself? And here's what I wish every single one of you understood. Your nervous system isn't trying to make you exhausted. It's trying to keep you safe. Because if somewhere in your life you learned, I'm loved when I'm useful, I'm safe when everyone else is okay, people need me, my value comes from what I do. If any of those resonate, then slowing down doesn't automatically feel restful. In fact, it can actually feel really unsafe. And that is why so many women tell me, I don't know how to relax, or it's a good one, when I finally sit down, feel guilty, or I don't even know what I do with myself. They're not failing at rest. Their body simply learned that being busy meant being safe. And what I want you to hear today is this: there is nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system has simply been doing exactly what it learned to do. And before we finish our conversation today, can I leave you with 3 gentle things to notice this week? Not to change, just to notice. The first, notice how often you automatically say, I've got it, before you've even asked yourself, do I actually have the capacity for this? Number 2, the second one, the next time that somebody offers to help, just notice what happens inside you. Do you immediately say, no, I'm fine? Or do you feel that little discomfort in your chest, in your stomach, that says accepting help somehow feels wrong? Be curious. And finally, number 3, I'd love for you to sit with one question. If nobody needed anything from you today, not your clients, not your family, not your partner, not your friends, what would you need? Not what should you do, not what would be productive, what would feel kind. Wonder how long it's been since you asked yourself that. Maybe reclaiming yourself isn't about becoming stronger. I have a feeling you've been strong for a really long time. Maybe reclaiming yourself is finally feeling safe enough to put something down, to let somebody else hold you for a change, to discover that your worth was never measured by how much you could carry. It was always there, long before you became the capable one, long before you became the helper, and definitely long before you became the strong one. Maybe it's simply been waiting for you to come home to it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. If this conversation really resonated, please know you're not alone. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, I'd love for you to send this episode to them, because sometimes the strongest people are the ones who most need to hear that they're allowed to just put something down. So until next time, take gentle care of yourself. And remember, you were never meant to carry the whole world on your own. You don't have to earn your rest. You don't have to earn your worth, and you certainly don't have to carry it all alone anymore. I look forward to more conversations with Dr. Nat next week. Have a great week. Bye for now. Thank you for spending this time with me on Growing Tall Poppies. My hope is that today's episode has offered you something more than insight, that it's helped you feel a little more connected to who you are now, a little more trusting of your body, and a little more permission to stand tall without shrinking or forcing yourself forward. Post-traumatic growth isn't about fixing yourself or returning to who you once were. It's about understanding how you adapted, honouring your nervous system, and gently choosing what no longer needs to come with you. New episodes of Growing Tall Poppies are released weekly, every Tuesday, and I'd love for you to continue walking this path with us as we explore identity after adversity, integrity and visibility wounds, nervous system wisdom, and what it truly means to grow forward, grounded, aligned, and embodied. If this episode resonated, I invite you to subscribe, follow, share it with someone that you feel might need it, or simply take a quiet moment to reflect on what's ready to move forward for you. You can also find me on Instagram at Dr Nat Green, on Facebook at Dr Natalie Green, or over on YouTube at Dr Nat Green. And remember, you don't need to rush, and you don't need to hide anymore. Stay connected, stay true, and keep standing tall like the tall poppy you are. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.